Maya Brooks walked down the steps of the big military plane. Her heavy black boots hit the ground with a loud thump. She was back on Earth after 3 long years of fighting aliens in space. At 17 years old, she looked like any other teenager, but her eyes held secrets that no kid should ever know. 3 years ago, when Maya was only 14, huge alien ships had appeared in the sky. The creatures inside them wanted to destroy all humans and take over Earth. The military needed every person they could get to fight back. Maya had lied about her age and joined the army. She told them she was 18, so they would let her fight. Now, the war was over. The aliens were gone, scattered across the galaxy like leaves in the wind. But the government said Maya had to go back to school. They said all young soldiers had to finish their education. Maya did not want to go back to school. She wanted to stay with her unit, with the people who understood what she had been through. Maya's arms were covered with scars from the battles she had fought. Burns from alien weapons marked her skin like a roadmap of pain. Her left shoulder had metal pieces still stuck in it from when an alien bomb exploded near her. These scars told the story of her war, but she had to keep them hidden under long sleeves now. She had led teams of soldiers through alien ships, making quick decisions that saved thousands of people. She had medals in her bag that proved how brave she was. But none of that mattered now. Now she was just another high school student. Principal Clark met Maya at the front door of Lincoln High School. He smiled, but Maya could tell it was fake. He handed her a big stack of papers to fill out. The principal did not know about Maya's real past. Her military records were secret. To everyone at school, she was just a new student who had moved from somewhere else. Maya's first day at school was terrible. She sat in classes where other kids talked about things that seemed so small and silly. They worried about who would ask them to the school dance. They complained about the food in the cafeteria. Maya remembered eating cold food from cans while hiding from alien patrols. During lunch, Maya sat alone at a table in the corner of the cafeteria. She watched the other students laugh and talk. A popular girl named Katie Miller walked past Maya's table with her friends. Katie looked at Maya's plain clothes and laughed. "Look at the new girl," Katie said loudly. "Did she buy her clothes at a thrift store?" Maya's hand moved toward her hip where she used to keep her gun. But there was no gun there now. She was not a soldier anymore, she was just a student. Maya's face turned red, but she said nothing. She knew Katie would never understand what Maya had done to keep her safe. In math class, the teacher talked about basic algebra. Maya had calculated the paths of missiles while alien ships shot at her. She had figured out complex battle plans in her head while running through exploding buildings. This school math was so easy it was boring. During history class, the teacher talked about old wars from hundreds of years ago. Maya wanted to tell them about the real war she had fought. She wanted to explain how human soldiers were braver and smarter than any alien warrior. But Maya stayed quiet. No one would believe her anyway. After school, Maya walked home alone. Other kids walked in groups, talking about their plans for the weekend. Maya had no friends here. She had no plans except to survive another day of pretending to be normal. At home, Maya lived with her Aunt Carol. Carol was nice, but she did not understand either. Carol thought Maya had been at a special school for 3 years. She did not know about the battles or the aliens or the people Maya had killed to save Earth. "How was your first day, honey?" Carol asked when Maya came through the door. "Fine," Maya said. It was not fine, but Maya did not know how to explain the truth. That night, Maya lay in her bed staring at the ceiling. She could hear normal sounds. Outside her window, cars driving by, dogs barking, kids playing in the street. During the war, she had slept in broken buildings while alien ships flew overhead. She had learned to sleep through the sound of explosions and laser fire. Maya took out her phone and looked at pictures of her old military unit. There was Commander Ross, who had taught her how to fight. There was Sergeant Davis, who had been like a big brother to her. There was Private Johnson, who had died saving a group of human prisoners from an alien prison camp. These people understood Maya. They knew what it was like to make life and death decisions every day. They knew what it felt like to be responsible for other people's lives. But now Maya was alone with teenagers who worried about homework and boyfriends. Maya closed her eyes and tried to sleep, but her mind kept thinking about the war. She remembered the first alien she had killed. It had been trying to hurt a group of human children. Maya had shot it with her rifle before it could harm them. She had been 15 years old. She remembered the battle for Space Station Alpha. Maya had led a team of soldiers through the dark corridors while aliens hunted them. They had planted bombs that destroyed the alien command center. It had taken them 6 hours of fighting, but they had won. Maya remembered the final battle above Earth. She had been on a human ship that attacked the main alien mothership. They had flown through clouds of laser fire and explosions. Maya had helped destroy the alien leader's ship, ending the war forever. But none of that mattered now. Now Maya had to worry about fitting in with kids who had never seen real danger. She had to pretend that their problems were important. She had to act like a normal teenager when she was really a war hero. Maya finally fell asleep, but her dreams were full of alien ships and laser battles. Even in sleep, she could not escape the war that had made her who she was. Tomorrow she would have to go back to school and pretend some more. She would have to act like she cared about things that seemed so unimportant after saving the world. The hardest part was being alone. During the war, Maya had been part of a team. Now she was just one person trying to fit into a world that did not understand her. She was a hero, with no one to tell her story to. Maya had been at Lincoln High School for 3 weeks now. She was starting to notice things that made her feel scared. Small things that other people did not see. But Maya had learned during the war to watch everything carefully. Her life had depended on seeing danger before it was too late. The new science teacher was the first thing that worried Maya. His name was Dr. Kane, and he had started working at the school just before Maya arrived. Dr. Kane looked normal enough, but something about him was wrong. Maya could not put her finger on it at first. During a class about satellites, Dr. Kane asked strange questions. He wanted to know how military satellites worked. He asked about communication systems that soldiers used. Most teachers would talk about weather satellites or TV satellites, but Dr. Kane seemed very interested in military technology. Maya watched Dr. Kane carefully after that. She noticed that he walked like a soldier. His back was straight, and his steps were even. Maya had seen thousands of soldiers walk, and Dr. Kane moved just like them. But he said he had always been a teacher. He said he had never been in the military. Dr. Kane also knew too much about science. During one class, he started talking about advanced physics. He explained things that Maya had only heard about in military briefings. These were not things that high school students should learn about. They were things that only scientists and soldiers needed to know. Maya tried to tell people about her worries, but nobody listened to her. When she talked to Principal Clark, he just smiled and patted her shoulder. "Maya, I think you are having trouble getting used to normal life," Principal Clark said. "Maybe you should talk to our school counselor. She helps students who are having problems." Maya felt angry. She was not having problems. She was trying to keep everyone safe. But Principal Clark treated her like she was just a confused teenager. Maya's classmates were even worse. When she tried to tell Katie Miller about Dr. Kane, Katie just laughed. "You watch too many movies," Katie said. "Not everyone is a secret agent or an alien. Dr. Kane is just a boring science teacher." Even Amy Davis, who was supposed to be Maya's friend, did not believe her. Amy was a nice girl who had been assigned to help Maya fit in at school. But when Maya told her about Dr. Kane, Amy looked worried. "Maya, maybe you are still thinking about the war too much," Amy said softly. "My dad says that soldiers sometimes see danger where there is no danger. Maybe you need to relax." Maya felt more alone than ever. During the war, when she told her commander that something was wrong, he listened to her. Her fellow soldiers trusted her judgment. But here at school, everyone thought she was crazy. Maya decided to investigate on her own. She had learned how to gather information during the war. She knew how to watch people without them knowing. She started following Dr. Kane after school. Dr. Kane did strange things when he thought no one was watching. Instead of going home like a normal teacher, he stayed at school very late. Maya saw him in the computer lab at night, working on machines that students never used. He also spent a lot of time looking at the school's security cameras. Maya discovered that the security cameras were new. They had been installed over the summer, just before school started. But these were not normal school cameras. They were military-grade cameras that could see in the dark and zoom in very far. Maya had used similar cameras during the war to watch for alien movements. Maya also found out that several teachers had been replaced over the summer. The old math teacher, the old gym teacher, and 2 other staff members had all quit suddenly. Maya thought this was very suspicious. Why would so many teachers leave at the same time? Maya started making a list of all the new staff members. She wrote down everything she noticed about them. Dr. Kane was not the only one who seemed strange. The new gym teacher, Coach Brown, was also very strong and moved like a soldier. The new librarian, Mrs. Stone, asked students weird questions about their families. The more Maya investigated, the more worried she became. She realized that many of the students at Lincoln High School had parents who worked for the military. Katie Miller's father was a general. Tony Reed's mother worked on secret government projects. Amy Davis's parents both worked for the space program. Maya started to see a pattern. Someone had chosen Lincoln High School very carefully. They had put new staff members in place. They had installed military cameras, and they had picked a school full of kids whose parents had access to important military secrets. Maya felt like she was putting together a puzzle, but she was missing some pieces. She knew that something bad was going to happen, but she did not know what or when. She also knew that nobody would believe her if she tried to warn them. Maya wished she could call her old commander. She wished she could talk to Sergeant Davis, or any of her old unit. They would believe her. They would help her figure out what to do. But Maya was on her own now. Late at night, Maya lay in bed thinking about what she had learned. She was almost sure that the new staff members were not really teachers. They were something else, something dangerous, but she had no proof that would convince anyone. Maya made a decision. If nobody else would protect the students at Lincoln High School, then she would have to do it herself. She had saved the world once before. Maybe she could save her school too. But Maya was scared. During the war, she had been part of a team. She had other soldiers to help her. Now she was just one teenager against an unknown enemy. She did not even know who the enemy was or what they wanted. Maya closed her eyes and tried to sleep. Tomorrow she would continue her investigation. She would watch the fake teachers more carefully. She would try to figure out their plan before it was too late. Maya had a feeling that time was running out. Maya's worst fears came true on a Thursday morning in October. She had been watching Dr. Kane for 2 more weeks, and she finally saw something that proved she was right. Maya had stayed late at school, hiding in a supply closet near the science lab. She wanted to see what Dr. Kane did when he thought no one was around. Through the small window in the closet door, Maya watched Dr. Kane enter the chemistry lab, but he was not alone. Coach Brown and Mrs. Stone were with him. They moved quietly like they were doing something secret. Maya held her breath and watched carefully. Dr. Kane went to a locked cabinet that students were never allowed to touch. He opened it with a key and took out several bottles of chemicals. Maya recognized some of the chemicals from her military training. They were the same substances that aliens had used during the war to control human prisoners. These chemicals could make people's minds go blank and make them do whatever they were told. Maya watched in horror as Dr. Kane mixed the chemicals together in a large container. Coach Brown and Mrs. Stone helped him pour the mixture into the school's air conditioning system. Maya realized they were going to pump the chemical into the air so that everyone in the school would breathe it. Maya's heart beat very fast. She wanted to run and get help, but she knew no one would believe her. She also knew it might be too late to stop what was happening. Maya had to think quickly about what to do. The next morning was the homecoming assembly. All the students and teachers were supposed to gather in the big gymnasium to hear a presentation about community safety. Maya now understood that this was not a real presentation. It was a trap. Maya sat in the back of the gymnasium with all the other students. On the stage, Dr. Kane was setting up a microphone and some equipment. He smiled at everyone, but Maya could see that his smile was fake and evil. "Good morning, students and teachers," Dr. Kane said into the microphone. Today, we are going to learn about keeping our community safe from dangers. Maya noticed that Dr. Kane and the other fake teachers were wearing small devices over their noses and mouths. They looked like tiny masks that were almost invisible. Maya realized these devices were filters to protect them from breathing the chemicals they had put in the air. Dr. Kane pressed a button on a remote control. Maya heard the air conditioning system start working harder. She knew that the chemical mixture was now being pumped into the gymnasium. Maya quickly took off her jacket and held it over her nose and mouth. She tried not to breathe the poisoned air. Around Maya, strange things started happening to the other students. Their eyes became blank and empty. They sat very still and quiet, like robots waiting for orders. Katie Miller, who was usually loud and energetic, just stared straight ahead with no expression on her face. Amy Davis, who was always smiling, looked like a statue. Maya felt sick and scared. The chemicals were working exactly like they had during the war. The aliens had used the same substances to control human prisoners and make them into slaves. Now these fake teachers were doing the same thing to Maya's classmates. Dr. Kane looked out at all the students with their blank faces and smiled a real smile this time. It was a cruel, happy smile that made Maya feel cold inside. "Excellent," Dr. Kane said. "Phase 1 is complete. Now we can begin Phase 2. Dr. Kane pressed another button, and the doors to the gymnasium locked with a loud click. Maya realized that everyone was now trapped inside. Coach Brown and Mrs. Stone moved to stand by the doors to make sure no one could escape. Then something happened that made Maya's blood turn to ice. Dr. Kane's face began to change. His skin became gray and scaly. His eyes turned yellow like a snake's eyes. His hands grew long claws instead of fingernails. Dr. Kane was not human at all. He was an alien. Coach Brown and Mrs. Stone also changed into their real forms. They were aliens too, just like the creatures Maya had fought during the war. But these aliens looked different from the ones Maya remembered. They were a different type, maybe from a different planet. "Welcome, children of Earth," Dr. Kane said in a voice that now sounded like metal scraping against metal. "You are now our prisoners. Your parents work for your military and they have access to information we need. You will help us get that information." Maya's mind raced as she tried to understand what was happening. These aliens had been planning this for months. They had replaced the real teachers and waited for the right moment to attack. They wanted to use the students as hostages to force their parents to give up military secrets. Dr. Kane walked closer to the students, studying their blank faces. "Your minds are now under our control," he said. "You will do exactly what we tell you to do. First, you will call your parents and tell them to come to the school for an emergency meeting." Maya watched as her classmates reached for their phones like zombies. They were about to help the aliens trap their own parents. Maya knew she had to do something, but she was just one person against 3 aliens and a whole school full of controlled students. Maya thought about her military training. During the war, she had been in situations where she was outnumbered and had to fight alone. She had learned that sometimes one person could make a big difference if they were smart and brave. Enough. Maya looked around the gymnasium trying to make a plan. She noticed that there were emergency exits, but they were all locked or guarded. She saw that the aliens had weapons hidden under their clothes. She also saw that they had more of the mind control chemical in containers near the stage. Maya realized that this was probably not the only attack happening today. If aliens were here at Lincoln High School, they were probably attacking other schools too. They were trying to take control of many military families all at once. Maya felt the same feeling she had felt during the war when everything seemed hopeless, but she also felt something else. She felt angry. These aliens had come to her school and hurt her classmates. They had turned her friends into puppets. They thought they could defeat humans by being sneaky and cruel. Maya remembered what her old commander used to say, "Humans are strongest when things look impossible. That's when we fight the hardest." Maya took a deep breath through her jacket and got ready to fight. She was just one 17-year-old girl against 3 alien monsters. But she was a human girl who had already helped save the world once before. Maya was not going to let these aliens hurt her classmates or their families. The real battle was about to begin. Maya knew she had to move fast. The aliens were making the controlled students call their parents, and soon the trap would be complete. Maya crawled quietly under the bleachers, staying hidden while she thought about her plan. First, Maya needed to stop the aliens from talking to their commanders. During the war, she had learned that aliens always stayed in contact with their main ships. If she could cut off their communication, they would be confused and scared. Maya remembered the school's main electrical room in the basement. If she could get there, she might be able to shut down the aliens' communication equipment. Maya crawled to the back of the gymnasium where there was a small door that led to the hallway. She had to be very careful not to let the aliens see her. Maya opened the door slowly and slipped out into the empty hallway. The school felt different, now like a place where monsters lived instead of students. Maya ran quietly toward the stairs that led to the basement. Her heart was beating so loud she was afraid the aliens might hear it. In the basement, Maya found the electrical room. She remembered seeing Dr. Kane go in there several times during the past few weeks. Maya picked the lock using skills she had learned during the war. Inside the room, she found alien communication equipment hidden behind the normal school electrical boxes. Maya smiled for the first time in weeks. She knew exactly how to destroy this type of alien equipment. She had done it many times during the war. Maya pulled out some wires and twisted them together in a special way. Then she found the main power switch and flipped it. Sparks flew from the alien equipment, and smoke filled the room. Maya heard angry alien voices shouting from upstairs. They had lost contact with their commanders. Now they were alone, just like Maya was. Maya's next job was to save her classmates. She knew the mind control chemical would wear off in a few hours, but that might be too late. Maya remembered that, during the war, loud noises and bright lights could sometimes break the chemical's control over people's minds. Maya ran to the school's fire alarm system. She broke the glass with her fist and pulled the handle. Loud sirens started ringing throughout the whole school. Emergency lights began flashing on and off. Maya hoped this would help wake up her classmates. Maya heard the aliens roaring with anger. They were probably coming to look for her now. Maya ran toward the gymnasium, but she took a different path through the school. She knew every hallway and every room because she had been planning for this moment. Maya stopped at the chemistry lab where she had seen the aliens making their poison. She grabbed several bottles of chemicals that she knew how to use. During the war, Maya had learned how to make small bombs from ordinary materials. She mixed the chemicals together quickly and made 3 small explosive devices. Maya could hear the aliens stomping through the hallways looking for her. They were shouting to each other in their alien language. Maya hid behind a row of lockers and listened to them get closer. The first alien to find Maya was Coach Brown. He came around the corner with his claws out ready to kill her, but Maya was ready for him. She threw one of her small bombs at his feet. The explosion was not big enough to hurt the students in the gymnasium, but it was strong enough to knock Coach Brown down. Maya jumped on the fallen alien and used a combat move she had learned during the war. Coach Brown stopped moving. Maya felt sad for a moment, but she remembered that these creatures had come to hurt her friends. She had to protect them. Mrs. Stone came running toward the sound of the explosion. Maya was waiting for her too. Maya had taken Coach Brown's weapon, which looked like a small laser gun. Maya shot Mrs. Stone before the alien could attack her. Mrs. Stone fell down and did not get up. Now only Dr. Kane was left. Maya knew he would be the hardest one to fight because he was the leader. Maya ran back toward the gymnasium, but she did not go through the main doors. Instead, she climbed up to the balcony above the basketball court. From there, she could see everything that was happening below. Dr. Kane was standing on the stage, looking very angry. Some of the students were starting to wake up from the mind control. The fire alarms and flashing lights were working. Maya could see Katie Miller shaking her head like she was trying to clear her thoughts. Amy Davis was looking around with confusion in her eyes. Dr. Kane saw that his plan was falling apart. He pulled out a big alien weapon that looked like it could kill many people at once. He pointed it at the students who were starting to wake up. "If I cannot control you, then you will die," Dr. Kane screamed. Maya knew she had to act fast. She was still on the balcony above the alien. Maya had one bomb left, and she knew exactly what to do with it. She jumped down from the balcony, landing right on top of Dr. Kane. The alien was strong, But Maya had been trained by the best soldiers in the human army. She fought with everything she had learned during 3 years of war. Dr. Kane's claws scratched her arms, but Maya did not give up. She managed to attach her last bomb to the alien's chest. Maya rolled away from Dr. Kane just as the bomb exploded. The alien leader was defeated, but Maya was hurt. She had cuts on her arms and face, and her shoulder was bleeding. But she had won. Maya looked around the gymnasium. Her classmates were all waking up now. They looked scared and confused, but they were alive and safe. Katie Miller was crying, but she was okay. Amy Davis ran over to help Maya with her injuries. "Maya, what happened?" Amy asked. "I remember sitting down for the assembly and then everything went black." Maya was too tired to explain everything. She just smiled and said, "The bad guys are gone now. Everyone is safe." Soon, police and ambulances arrived at the school. Government agents in black suits also came. They asked Maya many questions about what had happened. Maya told them everything she knew about the alien attack. Later, Maya learned that similar attacks had happened at other schools around the country, but most of those attacks had been successful because there was no one like Maya to stop them. Maya had saved not just her own school, but had also given the government information they needed to stop the other attacks. Principal Clark came to talk to Maya while she was getting her cuts bandaged by a nurse. "Maya, I owe you an apology," he said. "I should have listened to you when you tried to warn us." Maya just nodded. She was too tired to be angry anymore. A few days later, Maya was sitting in her aunt's kitchen when she got a phone call. It was her old commander from the war. "Maya, we heard what you did," he said. "We're proud of you. You saved a lot of lives." "Thank you, sir," Maya said. "Maya, we have a new job for you if you want it. We need people who can spot alien infiltrators, people who can protect Earth from threats that hide in plain sight." Maya thought about it for a moment. She looked out the window at her neighborhood where kids were playing in the street and families were living normal, peaceful lives. She thought about her classmates, who could now go back to worrying about homework and school dances instead of being scared for their lives. "Yes, sir," Maya said. "I'll take the job." Maya Brooks had tried to be a normal teenager, but the world still needed her to be a hero. She was ready to answer that call once again.